Well, good morning. Well, we've come to day 7 of Holy Week, what sometimes is called Silent Saturday. Jesus' body is in the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, and certainly from our perspective, knowing the whole story, awaits his resurrection on Easter Sunday morning. But the question does arise: where was Jesus while his body was in the tomb? Where was his spirit? And some have sort of anchored to 1 Peter 3:18 through 20 to say that Jesus went into Hades and preached to souls who were in prison and so on and so forth. I'm going to give you my quick take and hope to do this very quickly on why I don't believe that Jesus went to Hades or into hell. Interestingly, the Nicene Creed doesn't include that phrase. The Apostles' Creed does include that phrase. But 3 things that Jesus says on the cross. Number 1, he says to the thief on the cross, "Today you will be with me in paradise." That's number 1. So Jesus says to the thief on the cross, he will be with him in paradise. Number 2, Jesus says, "It is finished." In other words, the full wrath of God, the full judgment, the full experientially, the fullness of hell, if you will, separation from God, judgment by him, wrath from him, is poured out on Jesus on the cross, fully exhausted, fully atoned for us, done, accomplished, finished. There was no need for him to do more by descending into Hades and so on and so forth. Finally, at the end, he says to the Father, "Into my hands I commit my spirit." He yields himself into the presence of the Father. So I think Jesus' own words help us understand where he was on Silent Saturday. Well, what of 1 Peter 3? Most modern scholarship, and you can see this in the materials that the Gospel Project has put together, would say that 1 Peter 3 is a reference to Jesus' ascension as a proclamation of his victory to those who lived during the time of Noah but are now in the prison of Hades, if you will. We could spend a lot of time on that. This is not a hill I would die on. That's my personal take, that Jesus is in the presence of God the Father and, of course, awaiting the Father's validating stamp of approval, if you will, that Christ's sacrifice was sufficient when he raises him from the dead on Easter Sunday morning. So that's what happens on Silent Saturday, and we will see you tomorrow as we celebrate Resurrection Sunday together at 7 a.m., 8:30 a.m., 10 a.m., or 11:30 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow.